All right. Hello and welcome to episode 13 of Watch Me Build $1 Million Business, a series dedicated to showing the behind the scenes of literally what it sounds like, watching me build $1 million business. So I'm going to put a little bow on today's episode. Is going to be putting a bow on the YouTube workflow side of things. So I'm going to show you how I'm creating an episode, or how I'm creating a workflow to come up with the outlines for my episodes, the stages that they're all going to go through in terms of getting them kind of published, and also how I'm going to automate a little bit of that process. And then we'll look at actually going back to building the funnel. So to get you a little bit caught up, if you are just jumping in for the first time, the goal for this quarter is to get to 50,000 monthly recurring revenue. We're currently at half that, 25,000. Why are we there? We've lost a few clients. We were at about 40, and now we're down to 25. How are we going to get there? What must be true to get there? We need to get some more agency clients. We need to get 200 plus members in our coaching community, and we need to create some operational efficiency. So the big thing right here, the big initiative that we're working on in this particular episode is launching YouTube, and then eventually Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. We're starting with YouTube. And I'm just trying to get it kind of operationalized so that it's just something that I can kind of show up and do, and I don't have to kind of figure it out every time. In the previous episodes, I walked through, building thumbnails, creating descriptions, titles, that sort of thing. I have, at this point, actually uploaded every video that I've shot so far, whereas the first 12 or 13 I just shot and didn't upload them. So I'm going to show you first my workflow, which is in ClickUp. And let's go to the list view. Actually, let's go to the board view here. So ClickUp is just a project management platform. It's fantastic. I love it. I love everything about it. You can see here's a bunch that I've already published. I'm able to have my caption files, the file that I get from EchoScribe, which is the AI that I built to create all my descriptions, the thumbnail, the link to the actual Loom video itself. So I can open one up, and you can see, doesn't look like much, but it's all there. Right? It's all kind of contained in there. So I'm adding a couple extra layers to this. There, that's maybe a better view. I'm adding a few layers to this, which you can see right here, which is to help me come up with a brief for each episode. And I've created an outline, like a template. And I've also created a form that I can fill out. The purpose of this is, if you haven't figured it out already, I like exercises, mental exercises, and I think it's valuable to create. When you're new to something, it's valuable to kind of create a rhythm or a process or a system that you can kind of fall back on to follow through on. It creates consistency, and it kind of helps you get out of your head and think through stuff. So the purpose of this is for me to think through the flow of an episode, not necessarily to change what I'm going to talk about, but to make it so that it's more consumable to you and other people, and that my positioning, match it, lines up with my audience, and it will help me title my videos better. It's not going to influence necessarily the content that I create, just how I present it. So this form, once I fill it out, will create a new episode here, and it'll create the concept, and then From there, it'll automatically go and create a brief, and it will fill out all the answers to this, and that will allow me to kind of figure out, okay, what's my flow going to be for each episode. So you should see something similar moving forward in new episodes. I mean, I'm going to need some practice, I haven't quite got to the stage where I'm doing any kind of post-production or editing. So we're layering progress here. This is just the next iteration of progress, and I thought it would just be cool to continue to show the different progress iterations that I'm making. How I started just from episode 1, just shooting it on Zoom in my hotel room in Spain, to, okay, now I'm starting to get a little bit more structure in place. And this might get updated and tweaked as we go, but this is it so far. So yeah, this will get filled out. Once that form gets filled out, all that information will go inside of the task. Actually, I even had it automatically put it in the description, so you can essentially open this up and it will give me the narrative version of what I'm doing. It doesn't give me the whole thing, but it does give me those little pieces, which then should come and fill this out. So I started building this and thought it was going to be a 5-minute little thing, and realized it's a bit bigger than that, and I kind of felt like I was cheating on y'all by doing some behind the scenes work without recording it. So I'm getting you caught up, and you're going to watch me finish it. So this may not be the length of a full episode because I've already done a ton of the work, but we're going to land the plane here, and then I'm really excited for the episodes coming after this. I think there's going to be some cool stuff that we do there relating to clarifying your customers and your core offers. But let's land the plane here. I'm using Zapier, I don't know how to say it, to essentially, let's go ahead and give this a test. Basically, when a new task is created in ClickUp, which it'll be created from the form, I want it to, this is just pointing to where's it at. I'm not going to make this like a Zapier tutorial necessarily. There are a lot of those out there that exist if you're looking for something like that, but I'm going to go ahead and pull in. I just ran a test. I just ran a test on the form, so I wanted to pull in that new one because it'll pull in the new fields. There we go. So it's probably going to be this one. Yep, test 9. That's what we want. And when I tested it, all I did was test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4, etc., all the way down to 9, which the last one is the title. And it's much easier to come up with the title when you know what story you're telling. And yeah, but for now, I want to very quickly get some evidence that this is working, and then we're going to go ahead and fill out the brief for the next episode. Okay, so that's good. We now could come to here. And then, honestly, the last thing would be adding the brief back to the ClickUp task. So what it's doing is, new task comes in, it looks up the template for the brief, it fills it in, and then it's going to put the link to the document back into the ClickUp task. Update task. Well, let me make sure there's not a... Okay. Whoa, that's kind of wild. Let's not get distracted, but holy cow. Going into the workspace. Let's try this. It's not showing me the custom fields, so I'm a little concerned. That I can't update that field. Yeah, there's no folder. List is just called list. Holy cow. Find task by... Okay. I don't... Okay, I guess I could just pick one of these. Let's just pick the payoff. Okay, let's see if it can find it. Oh. Probably helps if you bring in the right task. Big money, big money, big money. Let's go. All right. Feels weird that you would... Oh, well, okay. That's what I'm trying to do. I was like, this feels like the hard way of doing it. Should be that. 86 AZ. That should not fail. That should bring back BVOC. Yeah, that's the ID. Okay, it worked that time. I don't know why it didn't want to work before. Okay, so we want to then update the... I want to update a custom field. So update task is my only option. I actually don't think I really needed that search field because it's already in here. All right, let's go. So now we just need to pull in the oh, wait a minute. It didn't actually ever create the document. There it is. Okay. Let's see how that worked. Well, it didn't fill in any of the content, so we'll have to figure that out. Oh. That makes sense. Alright, well, let's finish getting it pasted in there. Okay, this is 1HRW. So I'm trying to find the fields for the URL. Video brief. I think that'll work. Okay, so it all works except for, I wouldn't normally bop all over like this, but let's go ahead and fill in episode is going to be the name. So we're basically matching up the fields so that they autofill. From the form. Let's go ahead and get this published, and then we're going to try it one more time. Okay, cool. It's in there. So let's do this. A, B, C, C, D, D, E, F, F, G, G, H, H, I. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because that'll be the title. So what we should see is a new concept come through called 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here's the info. And then we should see a new document appear called 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And A, A, B, B, C, C, D, D, E, E, F. G, F, H. Interesting. Okay, yeah, they're just in opposite order. So we're going to fix that really quickly. It's not like a huge thing, but from the mental exercise, it does kind of... There we go. And then let's see if the video brief shows up. Ta-da! Okay. Last little thing I want to change. I'm just curious. What happens if I throw some formatting in there? May or may not work, but okay. Let's go ahead and can these 3. And let's close all the unnecessary windows. And let's go ahead. Okay, so the final piece is rolling through what we're going to do in the next episode and using this to create an outline for that. So who's it for? It's for business owners looking for strategies, tools, and tips for growing their business. Okay, what's the problem that we're solving? So the first thing that we're going to do, we did do the core story already, and it kind of wrote this for us. We're going to first define our customer problem. Well, define our customer. Marketing isn't. So I have to do this because I already know that if you don't have clarity around who you're talking to, your messaging is going to feel flat and generic. It's not going to click with people. It's kind of like having a lock and a key that fits it. Like, you can put keys that don't open locks into a lock, but you can't turn it. So it's like it kind of fits, but it doesn't really unlock the desire to purchase. Instead, you need to have one that actually fits. And so there's multiple variables that go into that: the messaging, the offer, the price, the customer, the targeting, etc. But so this is one of those pieces. So the core problem is you're not getting the marketing results you want to get. You're experiencing... Well, let's talk about how would you know if you're targeting the wrong person. It's actually not... there's a few symptoms that can show up for this. One is you're getting people that aren't qualified coming to your website, store, or sales calls. Maybe interested or window shopping, but not really in a position to buy. So if you're too broad with who you're targeting, you might get the aspirational people that wish they could become customers, but they're not actually going to be, because you're not dialing in with the right person and the right pain point and the right outcome. Pain of this: you'll get a lot of leads, but not a lot of sales. You might get there's a lot of things that could happen here. You might not even get a lot of leads. You're getting a lot of activity and engagement, but either not a lot of leads or sales. Or if you are getting leads and sales, they are inefficient. They are at an inefficient cost. What does it look like? What does failure look like if you can't overcome this problem? This is part of the same thing. How does this make them feel? This is frustrating as hell. Frustrating makes you feel like what you're doing is never going to work. I mean, if you can't overcome this, it's actually true. Your company will eventually fail, unfortunately. You need to get clear about who your customer is so that... Well, that's just the answer. Why? Hold on a minute. Just want to make sure that we're in alignment here. Okay. These instructions are wrong. I was like, that doesn't seem right. The victory is what does success look like? You can efficiently generate new leads and sales. That's what success looks like. The payoff is, how do you feel about that? What's the experience? Feels freaking awesome. Feels like you have a system for growth that you can rely on. Tie it back to the main purpose of the series. Okay, this is one of the main. How many fundamentals are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess I don't really know until I do the exercise. I think it's one of the main fundamentals. I just don't know if it's one of 5 or one of 7. I think it's one of 7. We're just gonna say one of 7 growth fundamentals. So basically what we do is we implement growth systems, and our customers are businesses that don't fit into cookie cutter niches. Like if you're starting a gym, or if you are a realtor or a roofer, or you're not anything new. There are growth systems out there that are already tailored to their industry specific, their business model specific. Those are great. I don't know of any specific ones, but the assumption there is, hey, don't go reinvent the wheel. Go find a system that already exists, implement it in your business, copy paste, good to go. But for the people that are doing something different, they are trailblazing, they are pioneering, they are doing it maybe the same thing, but in a much different way that requires maybe more mental gymnastics for either the sales process or for the prospect to understand it and to buy it. Sometimes people create products or services that are the supplement and not the pill, not the antibiotic. So when people are sick, they go get pills, but they are less likely to take supplements, because pain is a big driver of behavior and change, but preventative stuff is a much, much, much smaller percentage of the population is preventative. So if people don't have a felt need, or if you solve a problem that's like 1 degree away or more from a felt need, it's going to take a little bit of convincing people that they need it. They first have to realize that they need it. Whereas if you're hitting a problem that already has felt pain, it's very simple. You just touch where it hurts and tell them you have a solution, more or less, right? And that works. So we implement growth systems for companies. It's a universal growth system, so it basically works for any business, but doesn't mean you can't use it if you're a realtor, a roofer, or a gym or whatever. It just means that there are specialized ones that already exist. For those of you that don't have one, or where the specialized growth systems don't exist, a universal one exists. And what we do at Jolly Sherpa is we come in and we evaluate the fundamentals of your business. We take our universal growth system along with the fundamentals, which is understanding where you're going. So that's all your goals and vision. That's understanding your customer, your offer, your messaging, your brand, your customer journey, and your numbers. We take those fundamentals and we adapt our system, which is basically based off of like common sense first principles that are just proven for success kind of in anything. And the Sherpa's job, we're called Jolly Sherpa. The job of the Sherpa, which is essentially a mentor, coach, business partner, and team member all wrapped into one, is to come in and build the adapter for that system. So we come in and we build or tweak whatever system is there to create alignment between the growth system and the DNA of your business. And then we run tests on it, get it up and running, make sure everything's working the way it's supposed to. And then we essentially optimize it, get it up to speed, hit that gas pedal. And then once it's going, we just manage, maintain, and continue to optimize. And it's really that adapter process, that adaptation process that can take time. It just depends on like how complex your business is, or how validated it is or isn't. So if you're, a brand new startup with a fresh new idea, it may take a little bit of time because you haven't really validated idea market fit, let alone product market fit. You don't know if people really want it, let alone who you're talking to, how to message with them. And we had a client that we worked with for a couple of years on a variety of different things, but one of them was a specific idea that went through, it was a startup, so it went through 5 or 6 completely different product iterations. And part of that was like figuring out what the offer was going to be, who the customer was going to be, what the pricing was going to be, what the form factor was going to be, all of it. And even in the final iteration, it took 6 months, but now it's like, boom, it's going, it's working. But we had to dial each of those fundamentals in one at a time from scratch because it was not an existing business. We were hired basically to build a company from the ground up. And we did, but it's not always a quick and easy thing. So the title. So anyway, one of the fundamental that we're going to do is customer identification. So the title of this is going to be we could either do it by outcome, which is I think we should make it more about what it's actually about, which is the customer. I don't like the idea of like just like clickbait for clickbait. How to clearly define your target customer. Fundamental number 2. I think it's number 2. Number 3. Cool. Okay. So what this should do, you gotta have fun along the way, right? So, boom, growth fundamental number 3, how to clearly define your target customer. We should see the brief show up here, briefly. Sure did. Okay. So, what does this look like as an outline? It would be Welcome to, what is this, 13? So it'd be 14. Welcome to episode 14 of Watch Me Build a $1 Million Business. This is a behind-the-scenes series where I share everything that I'm doing to build my business up to $1 million in annual revenue. In today's episode, we're addressing you're getting people that aren't, why you're getting people. Okay, I'm going to make some changes to this template real quick. We're addressing that. Why problem is happening. By so that, okay, so what does that look like here? That looks like why you're getting people that aren't qualified coming to your website store, sales calls. By getting clear about who your customer is, so that this is actually victory because payoff. Let's try that one more time, shall we? Character, business owners. Okay, hold on. First, we have to edit this thing real fast. Oh, wait, no, we did do that, didn't we? No, we didn't. Okay, there we go. Let's try that one more time. Business owners or people looking to build or grow a $1 million plus business. What's the problem? Getting a lot of engagement on marketing, but not a lot of leads. A lot of leads or sales, or inefficient. Expensive is probably a more expensive leads for sales. The pain of that is frustrated that it may never work. Which leads to checked. Failure. Okay. Could run out of cash and your business can fail or never get off the ground. It's usually that. It's usually never really get off the ground. Because if you have this dialed in, there are some exigent circumstances where you haven't figured this out and you've kind of gotten lucky, where let's say example might be you've built an audience and you've like TikTok, for example, and you've got a lot of people to buy stuff, but you're trying to expand and you go into advertising or email or website or anything like that, and it's just not working. And that's because people are buying because of you, not because you've learned how to sell to them. You have got so much trust equity with somebody that there are circumstances where you can say, hey, I did a new thing, come buy it, and people will just do it. But in most cases, that's not the reality. So in many cases, it's you fail to get off the ground. Solution is you need to master the fundamentals of growth. And this one will be defining your core customer. What does success look like? Get more leads. Get more leads or sales, or get them more, or get them more qualified leads, sales, or get them at a cheaper rate. Feels pretty, honestly, it's exciting. Because you have a system you can rely on for Okay. More effective marketing campaigns. That way you can get more qualified leads at a cheaper rate, and you can achieve growth, achieve new levels of growth in your business, and reach that $1 million plus mark. All right. Cool. So now we're gonna get rid of that first one. So this is how that reads now. Welcome to episode 14 of Watch Me Build a $1 Million Business. Can't believe that. This is actually not meant for the public, so it's fine that it's not grammatically correct. Welcome to episode number 14 of Watch Me Build a $1 Million Business, a behind-the-scenes series where I share everything that I'm doing to build my business up to $1 million in annual revenue or more. Today's episode, we're addressing what to do when you get a lot of engagement on your marketing, but not a lot of leads or sales, or very expensive leads or sales, which is eventually going to lead to, if you're experiencing this, it's going to lead to frustration that it may never work out. And if left unchecked, you could run out of cash and your business can fail or never get off the ground. We're going to tackle that by mastering one of the 7 fundamentals of growth, which is defining your core customer. We're going to do that so that you can create more effective marketing campaigns, which will get you more qualified leads and sales, or get them at a cheaper rate, which ultimately will help you achieve new levels of growth in your business and reach that $1 million plus mark. And then I can go into, if you want to follow along on the journey with me, get more strategies, tips, and tricks for growing your business, hit the subscribe button below. Then we can jump in, then I can do my little recap, and then that's it. I just don't like, this is supposed to be, maybe not because. It should be by mastering the fundamentals of growth so that you can create more effective marketing campaigns to get more qualified leads and sales, or get them at a cheaper rate, because you want a system that you can trust. I actually don't know what the feeling is there. And feel confident that you can confidently rely on to achieve new levels of growth in your business and reach that $1 million plus mark. All right. So, in this episode, I'm following along with my script. In this episode, we went through and built a workflow for ClickUp. So this actually now will go into the brief stage, and then it will move into the filming stage. And then processing will be where we do all of the descriptions and keywords and everything like that. Design will be the thumbnails, upload. It's exactly what it sounds like, and publish. But in this episode, we created the workflow. We created our intake process for positioning a new episode. We automated that to dump into ClickUp. We automated that to automatically create the brief, attach the brief to the task, and yeah, I think we're good. If you want to get more content like this or follow along in my journey, hit the subscribe button below, and come watch the next episode where we go through mastering the fundamental number 3, growth fundamental number 3, which is defining your core customer. Until then, take it easy.